Hey guys, it's Melody Lane, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these frames. I actually made the frame. I showed these some other videos and on Instagram and Facebook, and people thought I bought the frames. But I made them, and I'm going to share the files with everyone who supports my channel on Patreon. You get these files. The frames are made from free images. There's no cost to making these frames. I don't have the easel on all of these yet. Some of these images are made with Cricut images, like these hearts. The hearts are not actually Cricut images. The design inside is. This one was made as a heart. This one is not so great, so I'm going to show you my mistakes. This one had a lot of mistakes, and I learned from them, and I want you to learn from them too. So here's another one. This was a huge hit on Instagram and Facebook. People loved this one. This is all made from Cricut poster board, and this paper is Cricut glitter paper. You can choose any color you want to make these with. All of these hearts are in one file I'll share with the people who support my channel, and there's another one too that I'll be showing you how to make the hearts today. And these are made with Cricut scrapbook paper. There were a few mistakes in here too. These are some of the first ones I made, and actually the corners of these and this I didn't like, so I had to change it a little bit. Can you see the corner? See how it looks like it has a hole? I didn't like that, and so I thought maybe with paper it would look less like that, but it doesn't. I still don't like these corners, so I reconfigured the file and I fixed it so the corners will look better. The easel can sit straight up like this one. You see how that one's more straight up? And then I flip this one the other way, so it sits more at an angle. I don't know if you can tell much from up there. Let me put the frames at the bottom totally even. So these are totally even down here at the bottom, and this one is straight up and this one is leaning back. So you have the option to do either one. You just flip over the easel parts, all of them. This is made with adhesive foil, so I'm going to be putting these together to show you how to do it all. And please practice on your first few with regular just white paper, 12 by 12 paper, so you don't mess up any of the glitter paper or poster board, because the glitter paper is really hard to score and see the score lines and stuff. So this one's a little bit harder. Instead of using the score tool on the glitter paper, I used a silver marker, so I knew where to score it.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Okay, let's get started. I used my score pen in my Cricut Explorer to score all of these, but they were not scored enough. When I do cards, I can see the score line a little bit and I know where they're at, so when you bend the paper, you can see the score line, but not with these, with having so many score lines. I used my Cricut trimmer. This is my older one. It's dirty. I've used it a lot, and I took out the cutter, so this is not a blade here. I put the blade in the back, and I got a score tool. If you get the mystery boxes a few months ago, they put the score blade and the regular blade, extra blades for this trimmer in the mystery box. So if you go back and look, you might have the score tool for this. So I have two of these, and I keep one for cutting and this one will be for scoring. And it was so much easier to score it with this. I actually scored all of these, but let me show you how I scored it. So this is the top. I use a pen on here and score tool here. These are only here so we know where to put the easel. Let me show you on this one. I marked it so I know exactly where to put the easel to make sure it would all sit up even. So that's there just to show you where to put the easel. And then the score lines are not quite deep enough, so I can still see the score lines. So I put this in straight. I put it up to the edge here, so I know this is straight. And then I see the score line that needs to be scored. I see it up here, but I also go down here and make sure the bottom of the line matches here at the bottom and at the top. Close this and push down, and I usually go over it twice. Then I just move it over again and do it for the next line. Keep going. And then flip it over and do each side. I've already done these, so I don't need to do these anymore. I did it to all of them. So right now we're gonna make this one. I'm gonna fold these up. I am also using a Cricut scraper to fold it. You can use any scraper. We're gonna put this side down. The side with these go down on the table. You flip it over, fold it, go across. And you just keep doing this. And then turn it and do the other side. I am putting my nails right here on the score line and just pushing it over. And then fold these up. These are what I changed to save my corners. This one, I put poster board as a square inside. This is the time I would normally put that down, but I'm not doing it with this one. I will be showing it. I'm gonna do that with this one and this one, so I will be showing those, or you can skip ahead if you don't wanna see me do this one. This one is just double-sided paper, so I'm just gonna use this, how it is. And I tried different tapes. I tried some double-sided adhesive tapes. Best thing I used was Mamie Made It's Art Glitter Glue. Add some glue, and just as a warning, you might want some baby wipes or something, because I have been getting glue all over my fingers and on some of these projects. I tried different ways to do it, so I didn't do that. So now what I'm doing is I'm folding this down. This edge, I'm going to put on the score line. So right now I'm putting it on the score line, and then I'm going to roll it. So I'm gonna roll it that way, but I wasn't paying attention. This is the first time I did the wrong side first. Can you believe that? The first time out of making all of those. Do the long sides first. See, these are longer. These have cutouts. You see how it has the cutout there? See that cutout? These sides do not have that cutout. They're completely straight. Do these sides first. Sorry about that. You want to make sure you have glue on the edge here. Fold this down. Try to get it on that score line or further, and then roll it forward. And then have it straight up. Don't have that bottom part like at an angle. Don't have it at an angle inside too much. Just try to get it straight. This is why I say to cut these out on paper first. Cheap paper, like just whatever paper you have the most of or paper you're not gonna use, so you can practice this a few times, because it did not come out perfect the first 5 times I did it. Well, actually, I wouldn't say any of them are actually perfect. I really don't do too much perfect. And I did try putting glue here, just on the edge, and then putting 2 lines here, so I would have a place to grab this or to push this in onto that score line and then roll it forward up this way. Now this side's coming off because I didn't hold it down long enough. So what I like to do is try to get like 2 corners going. See, and this one wants to move out, and then you have to hold it there. These are not quick to make. One trick that I did do, because I didn't want to hold them both, so I would do this and then put my trimmer on top of these and then go answer your questions on Facebook. So then that would stay there and dry. And while that is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this down. You might also wanna make sure that these sides, the shorter sides, fit in between these sides. They need to fit in between. I am going to glue this here and then put a dot of glue on the inside corner because it's going to cover that corner. And I'm going to add more glue here. Glitter paper is really hard. Glitter paper takes a long time to dry also. Paper is the easiest thing to do this with. So we're going to fold in our little triangle corners. Roll this in. Make sure they're all in there. Roll it in. And push in on the little sides here if they need to be. See, I got more glue there, but the glue pretty much wipes off this poster board. This is Cricut poster board. So the only thing I'm not using that's Cricut is May's glue. Everything else I've used is completely Cricut, including the tools. I'm gonna move this down here to sit on top of that piece. And I want to fold this in, make sure that's all going to fit. Okay, so we're going to glue this one like I did before. I just stick a little glue underneath the triangle to hold those down a little. Put them on the corner here, the inside corner, and make sure you get it close to the score line. And then try to keep your fingers in between here so you don't get glue all over like I do. So I'm rolling that over. And I'm going to push these corners in. And I'm going to hold this until it dries. The paper dries much faster than this. Okay, while this is drying, I cut out a piece of corrugated cardstock by Cricut. If you haven't seen it, see how it's corrugated? Has the lines in there? I thought I'd just give it a little extra texture. You could cut it out of felt, fabric, paper, anything you want. Oh, you could emboss it with your Cuttlebug. That would be pretty. I just thought of that. I'm gonna use some Gina K Designs premium ink. You can use any ink you have. This is dye ink. And I'm just gonna go around the edges because the edges are white and I want the edges to be red. It makes the heart look more finished. And I can't get inside here. I don't want to bend it or anything, so I'll use a marker for that. I think I'm gonna go around the edge with this and add a little ink to the edge of the heart. Make it look a little shadowed. I miss playing with inks. I haven't done this in so long. I like these little square ones. This one is Cherry Red Ink Cube. I'm just gonna take a Sharpie. This is a brush Sharpie and get that corner in there. And this is kind of fun too. Add a little more color. I love layering colors. Oh, you know what? I want to pop this up. Okay, and I'm just using these I got from Michael's, I think for 50 cents or $1. You just pop these out. These are little foam dots. I use different kinds. Sometimes I use this Scotch foam tape, but I want this heart to be a little thicker. You can see this is like 2 or 3 times as thick. You can layer this to make it thicker, but I'm just gonna use these for now. I also, if you notice here, I've cut this off. I also use this part. This never goes to waste. You peel off the little paper, and I'll show you how I use that so I don't waste any of this. I just take some old scissors and cut it. It's really easy to cut. You can cut to any size you want. Take the backing off, and there, you got it. It'll stick. So I'm just going to take the paper off and try to place this right in the center. You can do this with any shape, any little image. You can put a picture on this. I think these would be really pretty as pictures, especially like some of these, a pretty background. But this is great just for Valentine's Day. And like I said, you can do any color you want. Oh, let's put the back on. So here's the easel part. This is what the machine scored. I did not put this through my cutting board and score it. We're gonna fold this in half, and then these get folded out. So let me fold this in. So it will look like this. You see that? Kind of like a V. And if I want it, did you guys see what I did? This is another mistake, thank goodness, that just came off. Always look at the back and find out where the bottom is. So this is where I have the bottom. It would not be a huge mistake. You could just put this somewhere else. It's not that big of a deal, but I just put these marks here to make it easier for you. So I'm gonna put this back in the middle. See how this is straight at the bottom and this is slanted. So if I want this to stand straight up with no slant, I put this at the bottom. If I want it to slant, I put this at the bottom. So I would put it on this way. I think I'm gonna go ahead and have this one slant. So if I'm gonna have the slant, I am going to glue these on and do it right at the top. If I wanted it to be completely straight, I would match this up at the very bottom and follow the lines there. But we're gonna do it this way. So I gave you the option to do it both ways. And a lot of people ask me about Patreon. What is Patreon? Patreon is a platform where people can support the creators that they love and they get perks for it. So the people who support me for only $1 get all of my Cricut Design Space files that you've seen in all of my videos. They also get more than what you see. I do sometimes make files and don't do videos on them. There are hundreds of files you get. They are Cricut Design Space files, so sometimes you have to pay for an image that I use, but usually if I make a different type of card, I'll make a blank card completely of free images. Then you can put on there images you own. So like these hearts, the hearts were a free image, but the background piece that I used was a Cricut image. And I will show you in my next video how to do that. I have done videos on how to do that, but on my next Saturday live video, I will show you how to do it live in class and we'll be answering questions. So I'll put a card up into the top right of the video up here, and you can click on the little eye and bring up my older video on how to do patterns with shapes and stuff. There, now it stands up. I know, you can't see it from above, but it stands up. Isn't that cool? It does take some time to get this down and let that dry, and a little practice. Okay, I'm gonna set this to the side because this one, now these hearts that I cut out are not quite as big as the hearts in the file because I made them too small. And I fixed the file so they'll be good for you. And I want these to pop out. These are a little too big to pop out on here. And I used those to start with on the one that I'm like, oh no, this is not gonna work. We use foam tape and glue on this one, so I'm gonna cut this foam tape in half, like that, and then cut it this way. And I'm gonna apply this along there just to pop it up a little. Do a little bit on the sides. This tape goes a long way. And then you can just also rip it and put it in the center, take off the paper, and then I'm gonna glue the edges down. And I'm gonna try to center this on this pink poster board. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, whoops. Let's move this out of the way so you can see I'm putting it on here. This is actually pretty just as it is, like this. That was easy. You just make a square a little bit bigger than this and you can just have this. But we're gonna put it in a frame. So we want the frame to be pink. Oh, and another tip, Whatever side you want the frame to be, you put on the mat face up. So I had this on the mat face up. Instead of writing on this poster board, I just use the score tool again to score so I know where to put the back of the easel. Or you could just put a piece of paper up here and glue some twine or some string or something so you could hang it on the wall on a hook or something. So we're gonna put this on this side, and I'm gonna use Xyron. Oh, and where's the bottom? So this is the bottom. So I'm gonna measure this up here in the score lines. It's really hard to see. And then we need to go around, fold this. First thing we're doing on this one, guys, I have done so many of these and I keep learning every time I do more. We are going to glue these both down before we even start anything else because they have been in my way. So make it easier on yourself, please. Let's start on the sides. You want the longest sides. Now these do take a while to dry on this foil poster board. Oh my gosh, I didn't get glue on my fingers. It took that many frames. How many have I done? I've done 10 already. 11. I've done 11. It took the 12th one before I didn't get glue on my fingers. So here is this one, and I don't know if I quite explained. The problem I had when I first did one and wanted to pop it out, I popped out the whole piece of glitter cardstock and then I could not put down the frame sides. It was a mess. I had to cut out the pop-ups I put in, so that's why I could not pop this up as high, and that's also why I put glue on the edges of this. So it would be flat so I could then fit the frame down because this frame is not fit if it's puffed up too much. I do have so many more ideas for these. You can just use regular cardstock. You don't have to use the fancy cardstock. You could put acetate over it. You can make your own shadow box. Aren't they fun? I love these. And I made these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet. At first I was gonna do these all with red, and I'm like, I don't want red. I want fun colors. And I didn't put the easel backs on these because I may have them like on a wall just like this or something, different colors. I just think these are so pretty. Oh, and I was also thinking you could make a banner with these too. Put ribbon on the back. You can glue ribbon on, glue paper on top of it and make sure it sticks and it's dry. And then you can string them together and make a banner. You could put a letter in each one, make it a word. I thought it would be fun to make a banner. Okay, I would do more that would maybe match a little more, but with the sayings inside, some inspirational things to make you happy. You can make some for a boy's room. Put a name in here. You could also do it like a diamond instead of a square. Put initials in there. These were just images I cut out from, these are not even like, they're just barely stuck on there. But I cut out images in Design Space that were already there. You can search monograms, and so I just cut it out with the paper and just turned the paper over and did it the opposite way. And when you use the same paper for the easel, it looks like this. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next video. But first, here's a shout out to some of those awesome people who support my channel on Patreon. Monica, Lena, Sue, Lori, Dawn, Kathy, Charlotte, Diane, Patricia, Esther, Angela, Lynn, Teresa, Janie, Ron, Pam, Audrey, Marion, Bridetta, Debbie, Terry, Bridget, Ashley, Janice, Kathleen, Linda, Diane, Lisa, Cynthia, Edwina, Robert, Kiona, Sandy, Kyle, Glenda, Carrie, Ellen, Donna, Jennifer, Vivian, Michelle, Kimberly, Vivian, Denise, Carla, Deborah, Becky, Patricia, Bonnie, Stephanie, Selena, BB, Shannon, Carol, Trish, Cheryl, Jerry, Lynn, Donna, Susan, Julie, Samantha, KG, Naomi, Felicia, Sharon, Donna, Janet, Evonia, Lydia, Debbie, Darla, Carolyn, Marla, Diane, Marilyn, Christy, Jeannie, Juanita, Annette, Jody, Tammy, Jean, Kim, Ebony, and Linda. Thanks, everyone.